What's happening, guys? Welcome into this fight preview and prediction show for Saturday night's upcoming bout between Vasiliy Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez, which is, it's one of the absolute hottest fights of the year. First off, I want to congratulate both men for actually taking the fight. Lopez for willing to face arguably the number one pound-for-pound fighter on the planet right now, and Lomachenko in only his 16th pro fight. And Lomachenko for giving up $200,000 of his purse to get this fight made and over the line. So, yeah, definitely congratulations to both men. And look, it's always great for boxing when two of the best fighters on the planet throw down against one another, and give us fight fans a show. Lomachenko's coming into this one as the sizable favourite. He's a healthy minus 400 price tag in this one, and Lopez coming back on the other side at a plus 300 underdog price. So let's jump in and talk about the challenger first and what he needs to do in order to come out with his hand raised on Saturday night. So first one is keys to victory for Teofimo Lopez. First off, Teofimo Lopez's youth on his side here, as the Brooklyn native, is almost 10 years Lomachenko's junior. Just turned 23 in July. In that time, however, he's built up an extremely impressive resume of 15 straight wins, including 12 KOs against excellent fighters in the shape of Diego Magdaleno, Masayoshi Nakatani, and Richard Commey. Now, while he did struggle against Nakatani in the fight prior, he absolutely blew the doors of former IBF champion Richard Commey in the second round, landed that huge right hand. Had Commey fallen down, getting up, falling back down again, he was completely shook. And I think that performance especially highlighted just how good Teofimo Lopez is and how hard he can crack. And he was adamant after that fight that he wanted a unification matchup against Vasiliy Lomachenko, which is duly being delivered in this fight. I think for Lopez to have success in this fight, he's going to have to unload that huge right hand at certain points during the fight, but he can't get reckless or predictable with it either. Lomachenko, as we all know, is a seasoned counterpuncher and make him pay for every shot, that he loads up on. Lopez has found success with that almost Floyd Mayweather-esque Philly shell he uses, the shoulder roll, and he uses that catch and shoot technique to get off quick, accurate, hard punches like he did against Commey. And while he'll definitely have a much harder time of finding a place for that right hand in this fight, Lomachenko's not called the Matrix for nothing. If he does connect with it, though, it could be curtains for Lomachenko here, as he's arguably never been hit by a guy who can bang as hard as Teofimo Lopez can. And Lopez, look, he's got a solid left hook. He's got uppercuts. He's got a good body attack as well. So Lopez should prove to be one of Lomachenko's most dangerous opponents to date. And Jorge Linares already showed to us that, the Matrix isn't completely infallible. He's got caught. He's been put down before. So, that's a plus side for Lopez in this one. But the main thing here for Lopez, in my opinion, is to get Lomachenko's respect early, hold the center of the ring, and not let the Ukrainian get into any sort of rhythm in this one. Turning over to Vasiliy Lomachenko, keys to victory for him. The Ukrainian has been an absolute tear through multiple divisions since losing in just a second professional fight against Orlando Salido. Since that split decision loss, Lomachenko has been absolutely burning a path through the 126 to 135 pound weight divisions. He's got victories against Gary Russell Jr., Nicholas Walters, Guillermo Regundio. These are all high profile fighters. For Lomachenko to be successful in this fight, in my opinion, he basically just has to stick to his game plan and continually use lateral movement in this fight to keep Lopez off balance and not allow him to get off that monster straight right of his. He also needs to use pressure to make Lopez be the one to back up in this fight, as Teofimo looked somewhat uncomfortable against the volume of Nakatani's punches in his bout against the Japanese fighter last year. I think overall, if Lomachenko can effectively nullify Lopez's big right hand here and keep him turning enough not to get off those hooks to the body also, that should be enough to make Lopez unable to reset in this fight, and also to keep him continually frustrated during the course of the fight as well. And let's turn to my pick for this fight, the verdict. Prediction time, and basically where my money's going to be on this fight. Look, I simply can't look past Lomachenko. What he has done in this sport up to this point has been absolutely sensational. Winning a world title in just his third pro fight, and he's looked unstoppable ever since. I actually think at 32, even though youth is on the side of Teofimo Lopez, I actually believe Lomachenko's in his prime right now. And this fight has shades of Floyd Mayweather versus Canelo written all over it. It's like an old master looks to take on a future boxing superstar, but just before he's quite ready for it. Look, I'm not willing to lay minus 400 in this spot, so I'm going to boost these odds considerably by taking Lomachenko by stoppage at plus 240. Is this a knock on Lopez's toughness as a fighter, his conditioning? Absolutely not. It's just the mentality of both fighters leading up to this fight. Look, effectively, there have been two types of fighters who have fought Lomachenko in the past. guys like Jason Sosa, Anthony Crolla, Luke Campbell. And by the way, that's not a knock on Luke Campbell either, because I think he's a terrific fighter. But it's basically fighters who knew that they were the B-side going into the fight, and they had to come up with an effective strategy of stopping Lomachenko rather than believing Lomachenko somehow had to adapt to what they were doing. And then there's the second type of fighter, and this is the danger for Lopez for me in this one. Guys like Nicholas Walters and Guillermo Rigondeaux, who approached the fight from the viewpoint of them being the A-side, and they simply had too much for Lomachenko being undefeated as they were. Nicholas Walters went into his fight with Lomachenko. He believed he had far too much power, especially having 21 KOs and 26 victories. And Guillermo Rigondeaux, former two-time Olympic gold medalist, he believed that he was too slick for Lomachenko. He'd go up and embarrass him. What's the common denominator between the two? Both men ended up getting simply embarrassed by Lomachenko. They underestimated him, and ended up quitting on their stools due to frustration. And I can't help but feel Lopez is in that same path here. Yes, you're supposed to be supremely confident going into a fight. And, like, obviously, yes, your father's supposed to tell you you're the best fighter on the planet and you're going to knock the other guy out. But if Lopez genuinely believes this, and his quotes leading up to the fight suggest he does, I think frustration is going to be Lopez's biggest enemy in this fight, and a key contributor as to why he loses. I think he's going to find Lomachenko extremely hard to find in the ring, and I think that frustration is going to build up. So look, I'm taking Vasiliy Lomachenko via stoppage at plus 240 as your play for Saturday night. Look, guys, if you enjoyed this fight breakdown, make sure and hit the like button and drop your fight predictions on how you see this fight going down in the comments below, as I'd like to get a wee boxing community going where we can all profit in the long run. Give me a follow over at the SportsWolf83 on Twitter and at Kevin Dolan over at WagerTalk. And as always, until next time, best of luck on all your bets. Slán Abhaile.